get to work. Alright my friends, so we are back in the garage and we got some more work to do today. I just changed into my basically garage clothes so I don't get my other clothes dirty. So today my cousin's here helping me. So we're gonna pull out the transmission today. So to do that, I'm going to be pulling off like the intake to make it easier to get to the bolts. There is the starter which is underneath the intake. It's a really big pain to get to the bolts down in there. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it is way down in there. So we're gonna be pulling off this intake. We do have to drain all the coolant, so let's get to work. Alright, so we got the coolant draining over here, and then Nate is just removing some of the stuff to get the intake off. He just removed a ground wire that was on here. And here we have to take off a heater hose tube so that way we can get to the intake bolt, which is back there. So we have to get the coolant all drained out. Alright, now we are finally taking off the intake bolts. So you guys can see they are back here. We already have one of them off and they basically go down the line. But yeah, removing all of those hoses made it a lot easier just to access the bolts. So let's take it off. Alright, so the intake manifold is out, as you guys can see right here. And I'm going to show you guys what I was talking about with the starter being super hard to get to. So now that the intake manifold's out, just move these wires out of the way, and the starter is right there. So the bolts will be much easier to get to. So now we're going to take out the starter. Let's do this. Alright, so now that you guys can finally see, so these are the electrical connectors that go to the starter. So there are two, one here, and then there's two big bolts that hold the starter connected to the motor and the transmission. Alright, we get the starter out. We are heading under the car. So what we got to do now is this drive shaft is connected to the transmission right here, and then we have to disconnect the bolts down here which are connected to the rear differential. So yeah, let's get it done. Drive shaft is out. Woo! Making progress, baby. Alright, and next we are removing the drive shaft that connects from the transfer case to the front differential. There's going to be 3 bolts. And then we have to remove the slave cylinder, which is back there. There's going to be 2 bolts. And then we have to remove the bolts for the cross member. And then also there's going to be about 8 bolts that connect the motor to the transmission. Alright, now we're going to slide the jack in so that way it can support the tranny while we unbolt the cross member bolts. what a job that was.
Yeah. I was gonna say earlier.
Woo! Oh yeah, thanks, bro.
Good job, man.
All right, my friends, we did it. So here's all the parts that we took out today. So here's the intake, the starter, the drive shaft, and here is the transmission. And wow, what a job it was. And seriously, I'm super impressed that we did it without a lift. A big thank you to my cousin Nate for helping me. And yeah, I'm super stoked. All right, bro, a big thank you. That was fun. Good times.
Too much fun.
Hell yeah. All right, so that is going to be another episode here in the garage. So we got the transmission out. I'm super stoked. Next, we'll probably just, pull the clutch off, the pressure plate, and then pull the motor. So I've never pulled the motor on a 325 iX before. Again, this car is all-wheel drive. So we're gonna have to pull out the axles, and so yeah, that'll be the next big job. So that's gonna be today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.